So, nochmal herzlich willkommen, einen wunderschönen guten Abend hier beim Webinar mit Goldplay Exploration. Wie Sie sehen, Marcio Fonseca, CEO, ist schon bereit für die Präsentation. Ich wollte mich kurz bedanken, dass Sie sich um diese Uhrzeit Zeit nehmen, mit dem Management kurz zu sprechen. Wir haben eine kleine Agenda vorbereitet. Wir werden 20 Minuten ungefähr eine Präsentation von Herrn Fonseca hören und im Anschluss werden wir gerne Fragen beantworten. Diese können Sie uns am besten per Chat schicken, gerne an mich direkt, auch gerne auf Deutsch. Ich übersetze diese dann an Herrn Fonseca, die er dann am Ende beantworten wird. Andererseits, wir werden das Webinar auch aufnehmen und später auch auf YouTube zur Verfügung stellen. Und ich denke, wir können dann auch anfangen. Marcio, thanks for making the time today, this morning. Thanks for joining us here. We got a nice audience gathered and that are eager to hear about Goldplay Exploration. You're a very new story, and it'd be a pleasure to hear about your silver projects in Mexico and your new resource. I'm going to unmute you now, and the microphone is yours. The screen is yours. Please go ahead and present. Thank you.
Thank you very much for organizing this webinar. As Kai introduced myself, it's a young company. It went public, listed on the TSXV on March 2018. So we have only 11 months. So in 11 months, we've been able to achieve major milestones for this company, such as acquiring at low cost 250 square kilometers of concessions next to silver and gold producers in a historical multi-million ounce district named Rosario in Mexico. And recently, 10 days ago, we announced a substantial increase in a resource in our flagship property, which I'm going to describe more in detail to you all, named San Marcial. It's a silver high-grade, potentially open pit project in the same district. One second. Kai, can you move the slide forward?
It's on your screen, Marcio. You'll have to do that. You probably have to go out of the presenter mode.
Okay.
So you don't have the spotlight on? Okay, awesome.
Done. Apologies for that. Came back. I'll be making some forward-look statements about future projections for the company, tons and grades. This is a standard disclaimer. So why Goldplay exploration? We are in a mining-friendly country, that Mexico. Mexico is the largest silver producer on the planet. We have a high-grade silver asset that named San Marcial. That's part of our 250 square kilometers of concessions in the Rosario mining district. And recently, we announced a substantial increase in the indicated resources of 57% to 36 million ounces of silver equivalent, and 44% in the increase of inferred resources to 11 million ounces of silver equivalent, which makes a total of 47. To give an idea of why it's so substantial, when we bought this property at low cost last year, it had only 30 million ounces. So we increased approximately 57% in 11 months. It's a company that's young, and it's a tightly held share structure. From day one, when we went public, we got the support of strategic investors such as Sandstorm Gold, SSR Mining, and JDS Energy Mining Engineering, which is a mining builder company here in Vancouver. We believe we are highly undervalued based on the current market cap of 12.5 million, and considering the quality of the assets. Our business model is to acquire at low cost, high quality assets, as you can see here on this green dot here. We acquired the San Marcial asset, paying in a 3-year option 2.5 million Canadian dollars. This property was in the market 8 years ago for a price of 15 million US dollars. It came with a lot of data, which enabled us in a short term to get a new resource. At the time when we bought the asset, we had a market cap of 7 million. Today we have 12 million, and we expect to grow more. One of our shareholders, which is here, JDS Silver, bought a similar asset 3.5 years ago for $15 million US, 21 million Canadian dollars, after working, drilling and defining a mine, an open pit mine in northern BC. They sold the same project to Coeur d'Alene for 250 million US dollars, which the equivalent of 325 million Canadian dollars. So the business is to buy high quality assets at the right time in the market, which we bought most of them last year when the silver and gold price were much lower, and add value and enhance the value through some drilling, new resource, and potential development of the property. You're having some technical issues, apologies. I'm going to the next slide, just a sec. So this is the capital structure of the company and management. So as you can see, we have a tightly held capital structure, 41 million shares outstanding, 50 million shares fully diluted, which gives us today close to 12 million Canadian dollars of market value. Management insiders, we have a lot of skin in the game, close to 22%. Sandstorm, close to 6%. JDS Mining Energy here as the largest shareholder, and SSR Mining, which is another large mining company, also a good position in the company. So that shows that we have shareholders with deep pockets supporting the company from the early days. Myself, as a bit of my background, I'm a ex-banker. I spent 10 years with Macquarie Bank. It is a well-known Australian bank that's very strong in the metals, energy, finance. And I spent 10 years with the bank and became very familiar with lending and investing money for the bank. Other than that, I spent many years with large mining companies such as Phelps Dodge and other gold players in Latin America in many roles, from exploration up to operations. I have a good transaction record from my time with Macquarie, and even after that, my last transaction in the Canadian market was Silver Crest Mines, which I sold for $150 million to First Majestic in 2015. Other than me, I have another experienced geologist, Trevor Wolf, which is Australian, fluent Spanish, working for me. He spent many years working for Plasterdome, which is a well-known gold producer company that was acquired by Barrick. The board is very seasoned, a lot of experience, most of the experience in M&A, buying assets at discount and also selling them at premium. So where are the assets? The assets are located in Mexico, in the state of Sinaloa, in an area with a lot of infrastructure, next to silver producers such as Fresnillo, that's here in blue, and First Majestic in green. The San Marcial asset is located 5 kilometers from the Plomosas mine that's under development by First Majestic. Everything is located close to infrastructure. We have 2 paved roads to the Rosario city on this slide. Mazatlan, which is a major city, is a commercial hub, providing a lot of support for exploration and mining development. So we are not in a remote area. We are in a well-established mining district, which makes very effective the exploration, discovery, development, and even expansion of the resources. This presentation, I'm going to concentrate on the San Marcial asset because it became clear to us that's a high quality asset because of the high grade nature and the potential opportunity to develop an open pit, low cost operation, which is really what we believe it's in demand in the silver market. So the San Marcial asset here is the red concession. It's 1,250 hectares. As I said before, is located 5 kilometers from the Plomosas mine, immediately here to the north, 5 kilometers from here to here. We are accessible by roads, paved all the way here to close to the La Rasta town. It's a mining town. All this is a mining district, historical, a lot of historic small mines around. The concession has a lot of opportunities for exploration. The first area that we did all the work in the last 11 months is the resource area here, which is 500 meters long by 150 meters wide. And I'm going to show you more detail this area, but important to highlight, the opportunity is not only inside the blue area, it's also along the 3.5 kilometers of the exploration that we are doing inside the concession. And we have already defined more 5 targets next to or in the vicinities of the resource area. In the next slide is the detail of the 500 meters long by 100 meters wide resource area. As I said, still open to the southeast and northwest here. In red, we have what we call a breccia. It's a wide mineralization close to the surface or at the surface that carries a lot of high-grade silver. As you can see on the left here, all the grades are above 100, even 200, 300, even 500 grams per ton of silver, with thickness, the width of this red zone is 10, 20, or even 30 or 50 meters wide. I'm going to show some sections. Important, that's very continuous along the 500 meters, providing us a good core of the ore body to define a highly attractive open pit. We have a lot of drill data, 52 holes, which gave us a lot of confidence to just release a maiden NI 43-101 resource. So, which I'm going to show you in the next table. Before that, just to give an idea about the geometry of the ore body, it's really the red and the yellow here is where the breccia is. As I said to you, some of the intersections are up to 50 meters wide with nice grade close to the surface, which is very attractive for a potential open pit. But other than that, we still have more than that, we still have potential for underground. It's still open going down deep on this section here. So the breccia is what is going to define most of the revenues in a potential open pit project, but we are still exploring to expand this resource. On this table, I want to highlight to you what's the maiden resource. In red is what's the grade and the ounces of silver and silver equivalent for the breccia. As you can see here, the core of the deposit has a grade that's really high for open pit, 200 grams per ton of silver. When you add the zinc and the lead, probably it gets 240. So it's a silver project with small credits in zinc and lead, but mainly silver driven, which gives a very robust project for potential open pit development. As part of the development of the project, we have just completed the maiden resource, but we are doing metallurgical test work, which we are going to release before PDAC this year. We have sent samples to Canada to do all the test work, and so far we are getting really positive results about standard flow sheet to process the ore. And we have done a very detailed analysis. We completed 36 pits analysis with the engineers to define at different ranges of prices and costs what would be the optimum scenario, considering conservative prices and current prices, and even some prices such as $18.50 per ounce of silver. And so far, all the results are showing that the project is very attractive. This is a photo that shows the breccia in red and the marginal ore, the stock work below the breccia, all the drill holes. The topography, it's really amenable, it's attractive for open pit development. So we have the permits to drill more if you need to expand the pit and define underground resources. And also we have the permits and the agreements with all the farmers to do all the exploration inside the concession. I'm going to show in a couple of slides, in the next couple of slides, what's the summary of the analysis so far of the 36 open pit scenarios that we put together in relation to the MARCIAL project. Here is an analysis about the grade and tonnage for all the 36 pits. The pit number 1 is the most conservative pit as a matter of costs and silver price. And the pit 36 is the one that used $18.50 per ounce as a silver price. If you look here, the pit 36, the pit number 1, The blue line is what we call how much would be the value per dollars per ton in situ for the ore. Using a very conservative approach, we get $122 per ton in situ per ore. In an open pit scenario, a project like this would have a cost, total cost, including mining, processing, and G&A, ranging from $25 even to $35 per ton. It shows that we still have a good margin, so a very attractive margin for development of an open pit scenario here, for a pit that would give the company 22 million ounces recoverable at an average grade of 205 grams per ton, which is very attractive for open pit. But we are still growing the resource, as I said before. In the next slide, I want to show you what would be a scenario for an analysis in considering what would be the potential net present value for all these pits. Just a sec. That's it. That's the next slide, the slide 13, where I show the NPV analysis for the 36 pits. This is part of an ongoing study to define the economics of this project as part of doing all the engineering studies for 2019. As you can see here, the pit number one, that's a very conservative pit, shows an NPV before capex above 250 million US dollars. When we did this analysis, it's important to say that we analyzed a capacity of 3,000 tons per day for a potential processing plant here. Looking what is in the market here in Canada or even in Mexico, a project would have a capex ranging from 80 to 100 million, which shows that the overall result would be a very positive NPV for this project for a different range of pit analysis here, and showing us that all the pit analysis have a very low strip ratio, which is very favorable for our project development, showing that a project can be highly attractive and fits what we believe is in demand in the silver market. Not many silver producers have open pit projects. Most of them are underground, narrow, at high cost. And this is a project that became the flagship for Goldplay because of the profitability of this project. And we continue to work here, doing more engineering studies, as I said, metallurgical test work and more pit analysis, aiming to define and release to the market what would be the overall result and the final NPV for this project. The next slide here is just to show you that we are not only working in the resource area. In the last 6 months, we have been exploring along the 3.5 kilometers. That's outside of the blue area here. And we've been able to define 5 new targets. 2 of them are next to the resource area, which gives a lot of confidence that we are going to be able to expand these resources. And again, when you think about when we bought this property 9 months ago, we had 30 million ounces of silver equivalent. Today we have 47. And we believe that we will be able to increase the resource in the vicinities of the resource with the ongoing exploration. We are doing trenching and planning to drill because we got the permits for 69 drill holes in this property. So our major catalyst and our objectives in 2019, we have achieved one. We completed a maiden 43-101 resource at San Marcial. We just released it. We continue to explore the 3.5 kilometers because we believe we can find more targets there. We are going to release metallurgical test work very soon. We got the permits. We are going to drill probably in the second quarter. As we have an office with 5 geologists in Mexico, in Rosario, we are well positioned to grow in that district. Today, I would say we are the second largest landholder of key concessions in the district. So it's a well-established business in Mexico, gold and silver, aiming to grow the company and become a key player in that district. So today, on this slide, we have a market cap close to $12.5 million Canadian. We have just started a marketing program. We have just released a brand new resource, and we believe very soon we are going to be able to increase the value of this company because people are going to realize, investors are going to realize that it's an attractive opportunity for investors because of the quality of the resource, track records of the management with most recent transactions in Mexico, and well-established portfolio in Mexico, in the Rosario mining district. That's a multi-million ounce gold and silver mining district. So again, our strategy, add low-cost, high-margin ounces, and very soon have a recognition by the market because of the high quality of our assets. Thank you very much. Have all the information here. If you want to contact us, we have our general email. You can also access most of the presentation on our website, and we have more technical information there if you want to look at sections with all the high-grade breccia on surface and maps. Again, thank you for the opportunity to present today.
Great. Thank you, Marcio. That was really quick and comprehensive, and it's answered a lot of the questions general investors should have of or about your company, especially the last slide with key milestones or key catalysts coming up very soon, like metallurgical results coming up within the next few days or weeks here probably, is really important. Wir haben jetzt die Möglichkeit, oder Sie haben jetzt die Möglichkeit, auch Fragen zu stellen an Marcio. Gerne können Sie die in den Chat auch auf Deutsch schreiben. Ich übersetze die sehr gerne, sollte das da zu Sprachproblemen kommen. Ich hoffe, Sie haben ihn relativ gut verstanden. Er spricht natürlich mit ein bisschen Akzent. Er ist selbst Brasilianer, glaube ich, hatte er gesagt. In der Zwischenzeit, während Sie sich eventuell Fragen überlegen, frage ich Marcio direkt mal. Marcio, what's your cash position right now, and what do you plan on doing to finance ongoing exploration activities?
So today we have close to 1.3 million Canadian. We finished a raise in last December of 1.5 million. Important to say that the property that we bought at heavily discount 9 months ago had some commitments of 3 years of exploration commitments, which the first year was 500,000 Canadians. We spent 700,000. This year we need to have a minimum commitment of 1 million, which we already spent 200,000. So we are fully funded for the year in a way to do the exploration and do the additional engineering studies for the San Marcial asset. In the near future, of course, the San Marcial asset is a high quality asset that demand more funding. We have had some discussions with strategic partners or additional equity investors. We might, in the near future, in the next 6 months, come back to the market when the share price is at much better value.
Great. Thanks for answering that. I think that's a key question to answer. We're still waiting for some questions to come in. I think because your presentation was so comprehensive, you touched on most points. Cash, I think, was the last really open one on my book to be answered. Maybe you can go back to the catalyst slide again real quick. What is coming up? Because I think that is an important one for people to keep in mind, because the resource estimate cost quite a bit of interest in the market. The share price ran to 30 cents from 22 cents. It's come back now a little bit because the markets are just softer, it seems. I just came back from a broker. He says the market activity in general is still very, very weak in the mining space, but opportunities do present themselves here. So just to add to your comments here, the resource was a major catalyst, of course, but more important than that is like the ongoing exploration along the 3.5 kilometers to expand the resource. This is the major catalyst in this company, as a matter of showing to the market that we believe now on the 5 targets, we are going to be very close to define additional resources in 2019, more than the 47 million ounces that we have today. Okay. Give me 1 second. We just got one question coming in. Trying to define it. About finding everything you put out, like your resource. So far, you've only put the resource estimate, the press release of the resource estimate. You have not put the 43-101 technical report on CDR.
No, the technical report is due 45 days, which is probably immediately after PDAC. Yeah, we are writing right now.
Yeah, which is being written right now. Great. Sollten Sie sonst noch Fragen haben, können Sie uns die natürlich auch gerne per E-Mail schicken. Wir leiten die dann sehr gerne an das Management weiter. Wir bedanken uns dann erstmal für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit, dass Sie sich heute Abend die Zeit genommen haben. Gerne können Sie uns auch Feedback, generelles Feedback zum Format oder zur Präsentation selbst schicken. Da freuen wir uns drüber. Und ich wünsche Ihnen noch einen schönen Abend. Und Marcio, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. And we are, as I said, we recorded this session. We'll put it online. We'll put it on YouTube for everybody to take a look at it again and for you to share. Thank you very much.
Thank you.